My name is Scott Blumenschein. I'm going to talk about goals, some thoughts about goal setting, and some thoughts about reaching goals. And what I have for you are a couple of ideas, a couple questions for you, and I have are answers that I think may be helpful to you. The ideas that I have are: number one, you are responsible for your thoughts and your actions. You're responsible for your thoughts and your actions. Number two, setting goals and working toward those goals will help build who you are. It'll help strengthen you. It'll help those around you. The questions I have are: what do you want? What do you want? And how are you going to get there? And the ideas I have are that you can get what you want, and you can find out how you're going to get there with a plan. And the plan has really three parts. One is, what are your goals? When do you want to reach that goal? How are you going to reach that goal? And then having some daily or weekly action plan to reach the goal. And then, very importantly, how are you going to deal with distractions while you're working towards those goals? You have to have a calendar. You need help. A little bit about me. I'm 58 years old. I live in Elmhurst. I am a lawyer in Chicago. I have a personal injury law firm. I have people working for me. I've been doing this work for some 33 years. And it was just 30-some years ago that I was sitting where you were in high school, and I was a teenager. And, luckily I had some people help me along the way. With regard to goals, there was a coach that we had. I was into sports. That was my thing. My parents had gotten divorced, so I was a little bit lost and not sure who I was or where I was going or who was in charge. But the coaches were important to me. And one coach said to me, the will to win is not as important as the will to prepare to win. And what that meant to me is that I wanted stuff. I wanted to be successful in sports. I wanted a girlfriend. I wanted my friends. I wanted to be popular. That's great. Everybody wants stuff, right? Everybody wants stuff. And what that line that the coach told me was that's good to have a goal and to want something. That will to win is important, but the will to prepare to win. Now, of course, he told us that before practice. It was very cold and windy and hard. We had to go run and put on our uniforms. And so that helped me, and I think it helped us. He took us from a pretty rowdy bunch of guys who were uncontrolled into a pretty good football team. We started out losing several games, and at the end of the season, we won all of our games. And that taught me something because, I want to do what I want to do. I want to watch TV. I want to take it easy. I want to have a beverage. I want to just hang out. And I think that's common. But for me, when I was your age, and even as an adult, I put on this, the Gladiator helmet. My favorite movie. I don't know if any of you have seen that, but I was just going to be a tough guy. I didn't know how to be quiet or sit still, but I was gifted with some ability. I'm not a big guy. Wasn't going to dunk a basketball, but I was a good wrestler. Pretty good at football and baseball. When I hit my junior year, I wasn't going to play basketball. Wasn't going to play football. This is it. I capped out. Wasn't going to dunk the ball, but I was a good wrestler, so I focused on that. So your goals have to be about you, not in a selfish way. Not that you don't think about others. It's that you could build that part about yourself so you could be a piece of this world, whether it's in your family, in your school, in the community. The world needs you. So a couple things about goals. One is that they have to be specific. What does that mean? As opposed to like getting in good shape, something like, I'm going to run 3 miles consecutively within 3 months. So you want a specific thing that you could tag it to instead of something vague like, I'm going to be a better student. It needs to be, I'm going to get an A in this class by the end of the semester. It means that I'm going to say one nice thing to my parents once a week. It's going to mean that I'm going to sit quietly with my friends and talk about things that matter once a week. So they have to be specific. Here's the other thing about goals. Goals are really important. We were talking about this beforehand. What may be more important than goals is the fact that you have a plan and that you're in action on the goals. What does that mean? Say that I have a goal, I'm going to run the marathon next fall. Between now and the fall when the marathon happens, if I'm running every day and I'm doing this and that, like I'm still not reaching my goal. I'm working towards the goal, which is the more important thing than the goal. Come the fall, somebody runs the marathon. That's awesome. They did it. It feels good. But the more important thing than the actual goal, and the goal's important, I'm not dismissing that or denying it. It's that you're every day or every week, you're doing a little bit of something. You're taking a little step to proving to yourself that you have a goal and you can reach it. You're taking steps. You're going to feel better. So another thing about goals. Reaching goals requires dealing with distractions. What are distractions? Distractions might be in your own thoughts, your own feelings, your friends, your family, your teachers, your parents, all these things, social media. You're never going to get away from it. Never ends. So on this thing about social media, I'm on it. I get it. It's interesting. I could scroll through my news feed for 2 hours, and I'm exhausted. So what do I have to do? I have to say, I'm going to do this for half an hour. I'm just going to indulge. And then I'll take the next hour and do something that's going to help my law practice, my business. Nobody that I think has your best interest is going to say, don't ever do this except something that's harmful to yourself or others. But, these things in life, hanging out with friends is good. Eating junk food is fun. It tastes good, or being on social media is enjoyable. I don't think that's a good approach because you're going to feel bad about yourself if you do it. Just give yourself some guidelines, some principles, some rules for yourself that allow you to, okay, you're going to do a little bit of that, but more importantly, you're going to work towards this goal and making yourself and others around you better. Remember, it's not perfection, it's just progress. If you want to run 3 miles consecutively and, for 2 months you're only running 1 mile or 2 miles, it's okay. Or one day you get hurt, you're working towards it. That's what matters. Life is going to come at you. You're going to get something no matter what. If you don't do anything, you're probably not going to get too much except for being dissatisfied and unhappy. And the idea is it feels like, especially as a teenager, you have no control over everything. That's not true. It's a feeling. I'm not denying your feelings. But the truth is, you're not going to always be a teenager. Your parents aren't always going to be, not always going to be in their house. Not always going to have teachers. You're not going to always have these guides. And at that point, especially, how you think and how you act matters. More than you know. More than you know. TV, the media, culture, everybody's telling you should be this and that. There may be some truth in there. You have to decide. And so, just in closing, I want to share 2 quotes for you. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. So running the marathon or saving money or reducing pollution, feels huge. But you all got to take one step. You just start today. Start tonight. Start tomorrow. And then the other one is, you are what you repeatedly do. Get somebody to come with you, parent, teacher, counselor, friend, group. The resources are unlimited. People, information, and then your habits. There's 2 books I'm going to recommend. One's 7 Habits of Highly Effective Teens. You might know that. There's another book, How to Fail at Almost Everything and Still Win Big by Scott Adams. And if you're interested in those books and you can't get access to them, I will get you those books. Go through your counselor, and I'd be glad to supply them to you. You matter. You have something to give.